Hello and welcome to my video review of the Studio Series SS8604 Hot Rod from the 1986 Transformers the movie. So first off, to take a look at the packaging. Here on the front we have this nice picture of Hot Rod here holding the Matrix of Leadership. Got a logo from the 86 movie here. On the side here, got this nice model of Hot Rod there, the 86 logo up at the top. Come around to the back. Got some nice images of Hot Rod in his robot and vehicle mode here, showing off some of his accessories. It says transforms in 29 steps. Got a nice picture of the backdrop here. On this side it says Voyager class. We've got another picture of Hot Rod there with the 8604. And then we have the included backdrop here. It's a scene from the movie at the end inside a Unicron when Hot Rod opens the Matrix and destroys Unicron. On the side here we got Studio Series, flip it that way, Studio Series 8604. On the side it says Transformers, got the 86 logo again. Down here we have the movie logo. Go ahead and set Hot Rod in there. Looks pretty good. Getting this out of the way. I'm gonna take a look at the robot mode here. It's very nice looking. I like the colors on this one. It's got a lot of this nice orange color throughout. A whole bunch of this red. Got some of this really cool purple down here at the legs. Spinning around to the side, you got his little exhaust pipes on his wrist here. On the back, got the spoiler of his car right there. It's very nice. It all compacts very well into the robot mode. You really don't see much of the vehicle mode parts at all. And the transformation on this guy is pretty complex, and it shows. I think they did a really good job on it. So in robot mode, he actually has some really cool features here. Whereas, like, for example, here on the 86 Cup, you had this little welding tool that was actually a separate piece that you would put in his hand. On this one, you actually come on to the side here and pull this whole section down. Spin his hand around like this. And close that back up. And there's his little welding tool. Really like how that works. And then on this side you got the same idea. I'll show that off when we get to the accessories though. And then on here on his faceplate, let me just adjust the light here real quick. Up here on his helmet, you can actually open his helmet up like this. You can flip out his little blue visor in there. If I can get it. There we go. Close that back down. He's got his little visor there. Really cool. He's a bit on the smaller side for a Voyager class figure. And I'll show that off a little bit more when we get to the size comparisons. But as for articulation, this guy's pretty good. His arms can move. They can move a full 360, but they're stopped by his little wings in the back. They can spin around, they can also spin up like this. His elbows can bend a little past 90 degrees there. And straight down. His wrists can rotate around and his fingers can open, which is not real common. That's pretty nice to see. His head is on a ball joint and can move all directions, up and down. He does have waist articulation. You can actually go full 360. That's part of the transformation. His legs here can kick out that far. can kick forward that far. It can come back only that far. It's a little bit limited on the back motion there. It's got hip rotation here. At his knees, he can bend. If this wasn't in the way, he could bend all the way. That's part of the transformation. But there's actually 2 joints in the knees here, as again part of transformation. So you can kind of get him in different positions there. And due to how this joint here is designed, he can actually kick forward, which just looks painful. He has ankle rocker joints, and his feet can go forward and back, kind of due to transformation. But other than that, yeah, his articulation is really good. I think for one of these 86 characters, they seem to all have really good articulation, but he seems particularly well articulated. And then for some size comparisons here, like I was saying, he's not real big for a Voyager class figure. Here he is next to the Studio Series 8603 Blur. There's really not a whole lot of height difference here. If you count his little wings in the back, Hot Rod is definitely taller. But at certain angles, how you want to look at it here, because of his little fin on the top here, Blur is actually taller. If you go from the top of the head to the top of the head, Blur is actually taller. And just to give you a little side profile here, Hot Rod is not real big. It's kind of surprising for a Voyager figure. I think that the Voyager price point on this guy comes more so from the engineering in it and how the whole vehicle mode really compacts into the figure, and because of the number of accessories. This guy comes with, like, I want to say 6 or 7 different accessories, which is really nice. I like having a bunch of accessories with these characters here. I'm bringing out the SS01 Jazz, or SS8601, my bad. So Jazz is a bit smaller than Hot Rod, height-wise, but when you spin him around, Jazz is quite a bit wider, just a bit bulkier. And again, this Hot Rod is not big for a Voyager. Like, if they would have removed some of the accessories and some of the features from him, he could have very easily been a deluxe class figure, in my opinion. But I feel like the accessories that you get with him are pretty worth the Voyager price point. And here, just for an 86 size comparison here. Here's all 3 of the 86 figures in my collection so far. I think these guys look great together. Definitely captures what you see in the movie with these. I'm getting these guys out of the way here. So like I was saying a moment ago, this guy comes with a lot of accessories. Just grab these from over here. So to start off with, we have a matrix of leadership here, which is really, really nicely detailed here. I think this turned out really good. I don't have any of the War for Cybertron series characters, but I've heard that this is the exact same matrix that came with the Optimus Prime, except for the color on the middle. I believe this one is a darker shade from the pictures that I've seen of it. But it's not wanting to focus anymore. So you get the Matrix, then you get 2 guns with him here. And at first I thought these were the same, but then I started looking at them, and the barrels are different, if you see that. These are also casted in a red plastic that has been painted over with the silver color. I think they look really nice. And the fact that his hands can open do not hinder how he holds the guns at all. It's like there his hand is wide open and the gun still holds. Now his hand is closed on it. I think that's a really nice effect. And then I'll just keep the gun in his hand for this next ones. Also comes with these, and this is a first for my collection. I have none of these. These are blast effects, which will go right on the end of the gun there and make it look like he's shooting someone, you know? Really cool. I'm going to start displaying some of my characters with those. Looks really nice. And then with the Matrix, I forgot about this part, with the Matrix you also got this little blast here, which has these two little nubs here. They just slide over like this. Then, oh, dropped it. Then you got the little Matrix blast effect there. Really nice looking. Definitely fits in well with the backdrop included with this character. And then lastly, you have his little buzzsaw that he uses in the movie. I believe he only uses this once in the movie. And correct me if I'm mistaken, but I think it's when Cup gets attacked by that octopus thing. I think that's the only time this is used in the movie. But to put this on him, just like with the little welding tool here, you open this up, spin his hand around, close this back. Now he has this little peg here, which this here just very snugly fits on right there, like so. But yeah, this character definitely, oh, I mean to bump the camera there. This character definitely comes with a lot of accessories, and I like that. It's very nice to see. If I can open this, get this back. There we go. Yeah, that's about it for the accessories. So now on to transformation. Transformation on this guy is very complex. I'm kind of dreading doing this on camera for the first time. So let's give it our best shot here. So you come down to the legs. This part doesn't like to tab in for me, so you just open this and then get down here. Pull this out. It's very stiff on mine. And that will tab in right here, like so. And you fold his foot in. And this is where you make use of that second knee joint here. You want to kind of push it forward like that, just to get a bend on it. Now, kind of get his arms out of the way. I want to bring this like out here just for some clearance. Bend this whole part around. Kind of just work that back. It'll close in here. And then you want to bring this piece down. And there's a little clip right there. Not sure if you can see that. And a little clip right there. You'll just close that and it'll click. Do the same on the other leg here. Pull that open. Pull this out. That'll click right there. Push the foot in. Bring the leg out. Spin this like so. And then click that little tab right there, right here. Like so. And then just kind of bring those down, make sure everything's straightened up. And then, let's see here, you want to take this on the back, pull this down, spin it around. And then you want to, let's see where to go from here. Kind of separate his whole back from his chest here. And then I'll kind of wiggle its way around there. Then you want to pull this whole section up and out, like so. Bring that up. Now this head, spin it around. And then this little gray section here will just kind of click down and back like that. Tuck his head in there. And then take this little front of the car here, kind of push on it to pop that out. Kind of want to be careful with this section here. I doubt it'll break. It's just very thin, so I like to be pretty gentle with it. But once you got that far, you want to spin this whole section around here. And that'll straighten up there. Then you can take this section, bring it down. And these two pegs down here will peg into these little holes here. Not the same holes that they pegged into in robot mode, not these back ones, but these front ones here. Like that. There we go. And then you want to take this section here with this little yellow hinge and bring that back. Now back here, there's a few different points. Oh, I forgot about this part. You want to bring that part back up, spin his whole waist around, and then bring that back down. And there's a few points back here it'll connect. This little tab here will slide under the leg. There's a tab inside of here, about right there, that will tab into a hole on the inside of there. It's really hard to get on camera here. There's a hole right there that'll peg into. And then these little bracket parts here, they don't peg into the hole here, they just kind of cover the hole there. But so you want to line that up, come around to the side, tab that in, and that'll cover right there. So I'll kind of get another angle of that. Sliding that tab in right there, like that. I hope that showed as well as I tried. So on the arms here, you want to straighten them out and spin them around on both sides. Just making sure that all this kind of stays together for the most part. Now here, you want to take this little back panel, open it up on both sides, and spin the exhaust pipes around. And there's a little tab right here. Mine on the other side, unfortunately, has broken off, so this side doesn't like to hold as well. But you want to take these three ends here, and they will actually go into these three holes here. Once you get everything lined up, and there's a tab right here, and a slot right there. Just kind of want to slot that together there, and that'll create the area here where you push these in, like so. And that'll lock in there, creating a nice flush effect. And then with this little panel, there's a little tab inside right around here that will go into this hole right here. And just click it down into there, like so. It'll flush itself out. Now this side, again, I broke the little tab here, so this side doesn't like to hold as well on my copy. So just push it right into there, and then fold this red piece down. Get that all in there. Straighten all these little tabs out. And then for the front, you want to take these little red sections, and there's a tab right here that will go into a slot right there. And just get that down into there on both sides. Making sure everything is still straight. See, this side doesn't like to hold because that little tab on mine broke. And then you just take the hood, clip it down. Now I like to kind of just push all over it, make sure everything is secure, everything is held together, and that is the vehicle mode. And you'll know if everything is tabbed in properly and pushed in if it rolls. If it does not roll, something is not tabbed in correctly, and it is rather difficult to get it all tabbed together. Alright, so for the vehicle mode on this figure, I think it turned out really nice. I really like how just like smooth and rounded everything is on it. Now, I do not believe that this is supposed to resemble any real life vehicle, but I still think it looks really nice. Got the little flames on the front here. Really like the colors with that red, that yellow. It's Got his little exhaust pipes here. Mine doesn't like to tab in here because I broke that little piece. But the exhaust pipes look really nice, especially on this side. But the wheels are very small. I've noticed that. And there's only silver on the front too, not on the back too, just because it's covered like that. But from the sides, it looks very nice. From the front, it looks very nice. From the top, it looks very nice. From the back, you can kind of see his legs sticking out here. But, I mean, it doesn't really bother me too much. From the top, it looks nice. Even from the bottom, it looks pretty good, which is rather unusual. Bringing out a different figure here. Let's see, like for Jazz, you can kind of see his head sticking out right there. There's his arms and there's his legs. You can kind of see that on this one, but it just kind of works a little bit better where this is his arms, but you wouldn't really know that from looking at the side of it. But so for some size comparisons, and like I was saying earlier, he is small. He's not a big Voyager. So bringing out Jazz, setting these two next to each other. Jazz is taller. Not quite as wide, but Jazz is definitely taller. Jazz might even be longer. No, I kind of got that cut off by the angle of the camera, but these little fins here are just ever so slightly longer. But compared to a deluxe class figure, he is about the same size. But with the deluxe figures, you don't have the features such as like his little welding tool being part of his arm and stuff like that, and just the sheer number of accessories. So moving these two aside, let's bring out Blur, just because I really like these three together. And again, like I was saying in the robot mode, Blur is, I would say, bigger. It's taller, not quite as wide, but it's longer. It's taller, it's honestly, it's heavier, which isn't really something that the video will translate, but Blur is heavier. I feel like this is just a very small Voyager. But the engineering and that transformation and the accessories is what justifies this as a Voyager for me. I feel like this is worth the money, being a Voyager, not a deluxe, just because of what you get with it. But he's very small. Very small. Just to show off what I was meaning about how small he is. Now this is kind of an unfair comparison just because of how big this one is on the other hand. But here is the Voyager class Hot Rod and the Revenge of the Fallen Voyager class Starscream. Now I'm going to angle my camera up a little bit just to show you this. Look at the size difference. Starscream is absolutely massive compared to Hot Rod. Now, like I said, Starscream is a big Voyager, but Hot Rod is just so small for Voyager class. Like, I don't know. I truly believe that it's in the engineering and the accessories is where they get that this is a Voyager class. Now, with the comparisons out of the way, let's go ahead and transform him back into robot mode here. So to start, I kind of push on the tip of this here, kind of open that up, take these little side panels, flip those back in, like so. And then, okay, so this is how I broke this side. So I'm going to show you very carefully here. Push here, don't just pull. Push here, push here, and disconnect that. That is how I broke this side. I just tried to pull it and I broke the tab. So just be aware of that. The little tab is not the strongest. Kind of just pull his arms down like so. But yeah, I really don't want other people breaking that because it doesn't like to hold in vehicle mode for me, and it bothers me. So just be really careful with that little tab there. It's fragile. But so once you got the arms out of the way, you can come back here to the legs, and they will kind of just, let's see, kind of pull them apart here like that. I think my thumb was in the way. You kind of just pull it away from the center, and they'll untab. Then you can bring this whole spoiler section up, spin it around, and then take his waist here, spin it around. And then you gotta do the reverse of the leg transformation, which was kind of a pain. So you wanna pop these side panels out like so. Bring his legs out, pull them around, pull the whole back section out, straightening up the knee. So there's those two knee joints there, so you want to straighten up the bottom one. Take this side panel, spin it all the way around into here, bring his foot down, and spin this all the way around. There is a little opening here where the little pin is, and then this little tab. Just click that in there. Do the same on this side. Push that down, pull his foot out, and then that little slot there, that little tab there, just fit together like so. That's his legs. And then I'm going to take this whole upper section here, pull this up, pull his head out, spin it around, bring his arms up like so, spin this whole, or bring this down something like that, and spin that around, bring the hood of the car down, fold this whole section down, fold this whole section up. Now these two tabs will go into these two slots down here, like so. You bring the spoiler from the car up. There is a little tab right here that will fit in this little hole here, like so. You bring these little panels out, spin them back, and this little circle here will fit into this little port right there, like so. The same on the other side, like that. And we are back in robot mode. So to conclude this video here, I think that this is a very, very nice figure. It is definitely a deluxe sized figure with a bunch of accessories and some very strong engineering that brings it up to a Voyager price point, which I'm okay with just because of all the things that you get with them, like the little visor, how his tools are actually hidden up here in his actual arm. I really like that. But yeah, I think it is a great figure. I would definitely recommend it. And I hope you come back for my new videos in the future. Have a good day.